What's up, boys and girls? Happy Thursday. I knew that. September 2nd, 2021. Last night turned out to be pretty profitable on my end. I just ended up really just saying, you know what, the Garrett Cole is... He is not gonna miss in this matchup. So I just went nuts with Garrett Cole and had a ridiculous amount. Perhaps 100%. And boy was I happy. I'll tell you what. At the end of the 6th inning, Garrett Cole comes out. He's over 100 pitches. The Yankee Stadium West is on their feet. They're cheering him out of there. And Booney meets him at the top step, and he's like, no. Like, he's like, I'm not done. Like, I got more. And he comes back in the 7th inning, get a couple more strikeouts, man. It was just a beautiful performance by Garrett Cole. I'm sure most of you guys had it. Gavin Sheets, man. That dude yesterday was in most of the top lineups. Lorenzo Kane, keep an eye on this, on him. He's been back a couple of games. Last night, 2 stolen bases and a homer, and I believe he showed some speed the game before. We know who Lorenzo Kane is. He's one of those guys that I'm just like, man, he's kind of up there now. I don't play him. I think he's been batting 8th or whatever, and he's just been terrorizing. So, yeah, look for him. Max Scherzer, this one stung because a lot of my favorite lineups had Garrett Cole and Max Scherzer at the top on DraftKings. He only went 76 pitches. He was cruising, like he was chopping them up. So if he would have went like his normal 100, 110, he was certainly well on his way to maybe matching Garrett Cole, right? So unfortunate there. I don't know what was behind that. If Dave Roberts was like, all right, we got what we need. But absolutely, Max Scherzer had a shot to meet or exceed Garrett Cole, and those lineups would have been even more spectacular for me. Otherwise, man, it was a really solid night for me. I hope you guys did all right. It sounds like most of us were talking about the right stuff yesterday in this chat. So I'm assuming most of you guys were profitable last night. Now it's on to the next one, like the great poet Jay-Z once said. And today's slate, a little bit different than any slate we've had in the last week or so. I feel like we have been somewhat spoiled with usable pitching, with decent-sized slates with no cores. Today, all that changes. We get kind of pushing a corner on pitching, and then, of course, like I said, cores is on the slate. So we're going to chop it up game by game. Hopefully, we come up with a couple of strategies and approaches and techniques to maybe separate ourselves from the field. And if not, there's always tomorrow. Friday night gets really big. But we are streaming live on YouTube. So if you guys are lurking, unlurk, man. Hang out in the chat today. 5 games. Usually I ain't got time, but I got time today. So how are we doing, chat? How are you? What up, Josh? Here, y'all seen Mouse? Mouse be hitting me up on Twitter every night, and he's like every night the dude's playing like less than $20, and he's winning well over 100. He's just like absolutely roasting it. So shout out to Josh, shout out to Mouse. What up, solid picks? Small slate means I'm stashing all the money I won last night off of Cole and Gavin Sheets and moving to tomorrow. May play some quarters tonight. Hey, I respect it. Pick your battles in DFS. Definitely a slate where maybe it pays to be even more different, right? Maybe there's more concentrated ownership on bad plays just because there's no other plays. And it's a good way to maybe practice your contrarian approach. But yeah, if you don't got the warm and fuzzies on the slate, or you don't feel like you're getting a fair shake, definitely pick your battles in DFS and betting in general. I think that's a lesson a lot of bettors don't heed, right? What up, Tyler? Tyler Barb in the chat. K Johnson, who said I can't be on time? Not me. What up, Sean Michael? Thursday, let's go. Roberts going Roberts. He did it. Yo Gun stuck to my DFS rule and paid off. What's wrong with your live chat window? Is not working? Actually, I don't know. That's weird. What is it just showing? Let's go. Let me try some. I'm gonna switch back and come back, and maybe it'll fix. Try it again. Yeah, what's up, guys? Gun here. Happy. Anyway, what up, Adam Shockley in the chat? You always know when football's about to be here. You see Adam Shockley popping his head up like like a bear at a hibernation. Oh man, you guys did all right last night. I feel like I don't get a lot of chances to catch up with y'all, but you guys let me know. I've been recognizing a lot of these names lately, so I definitely appreciate you guys being on time to class, but definitely have some time today. So if you guys want to shoot the breeze, let me know. Did that fix the chat window? Boom, 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 boom. No, it's double posting, huh? I don't know what that's about. I don't really have the technical capacity to fix that because it's not really something I coded. It's really just a feature of Streamlabs. So I guess what I could do, I mean, there's a old stick it blow in it. So how about actually I don't know what to do. Just notice you shaved the beard. It's time for real now, huh? Man, Yankees called me, was like, hey dude, that's out of code. And I was like, yes, sir. No, actually, I tried to trim the beard last night, but I don't know what happened. I just could never get it even. I was like, F it. Let me get it all off, and then it'll grow back in a week or two. But I don't like when it's super long because I don't have really thick beard. So it just looks like, I don't know. It's very thin haired. I don't know what's going on with this chat. I'm just gonna delete it and try to re-put it on here. I'm assuming this is a potentially known issue from Streamlabs, but I will try to do some on-air tweakage if I can remember how to open that. Game, silent game catcher window, blah 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 blah. Chat box, there we go. Add source. Chat box. It's probably gonna look really weird for a second. What's up, Pat? So when you're doing some NFL content, very, very, very soon. I have a couple videos written that I need to lay some audio over. As far as like week 1 breakdown, that's not one of them, but that'll be coming. Obviously next week we're hitting the ground running. Let's see. Test. Let me test. Test. I don't know if that does anything. Maybe it's fixed. Maybe it's not. Hopefully that at least like makes it a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe it works. I don't know. Yeah, NFL content is definitely soon, and I have a couple of videos that I've working on for this channel. I have a little bit more shelf life than just week 1 picks. One of the things I did was I revamped my Millie Maker study that was based off of I think like 2 or 3 years ago, a video I did, and I made it to again. Based off of the winning lineups from last year. No, it's not. Budge. Chat, man, that's not good. I don't know. That'll be like unfortunate for that to That's unfortunate. I guess the last thing I can do is a window capture and be ultra ghetto. Because I do like you. I do like chat being part of the live stream, like literally part. So I guess I could do a browser source just real quick, and then hopefully next time I come on the air, it's fixed. But I did a study on last year's every Millie Maker winning lineup, such as not such as, but every small, I would say small entry fee Millie Maker, so the bigger field, and just kind of went out and identified the most common correlations and stuff like that. All right, chat. This is not very aesthetically pleasing, but we live, man. Sometimes when you live, you just gotta do it. So we're doing that, and since the poll is in the way, I think we gotta shut the poll off. I think we gotta do it. Let's end the poll, and then you guys are now re-part of the stream. My bad on that, but it literally wasn't my fault, so it's not my bad. What are you gonna do? Anyway. Hey guys, we launched a new website, rundfs.com. I'm working on right now coding the VIP portal, maybe making the spreadsheets a little bit more of a native feel to the website. However, if you guys had an account at the old rundfs.com, it is no more. It has ceased to be, and we've migrated to a new server. And since the old website had literally thousands of dormant accounts, I just decided it would just be time for a fresh start. So next time you decide to grab yourself a VIP pass, come to rundfs.com, and when you click on the pass that's right for you, it will bring you to a page to create your account. Another thing that we have on this site that we didn't have on the last site, at least it wasn't as prevalent, meaning on the last site everyone's like, going, can I pay with card, and I was like, yeah, but here's how you do it. You go to PayPal, then you don't log in, then you do this. Well, this site's a little bit easier to figure out. So if you guys why is Sam oh my god, I guess Google Form Google Form, I guess sometimes it auto saves stuff, and apparently recently I've typed Sam Hilliard in like a box. Sam Hilliard, by the way, a player for the Colorado Rockies. So maybe that's Google Chrome's way of telling us to play Sam Hilliard today. But anyway, the new website's up. Have a coupon code. Yeah, how about we do coupon code GUN? That'll be, or maybe it's Gundacker. No, okay. Well, I'll get that going. Anyway, new setup here. So if you've ever tried to jump on rundfs.com before, and you were unable to for whatever reason, and you don't have PayPal, whatever, now we can accommodate. So check that out. And it is a work in progress. And there's there's more stuff coming, more announcements coming about more benefits of having a VIP membership, man. So a lot of big stuff happening for myself as a DFS personality that I'm excited to share with you. But it's I can't tell you yet. All right. We had some good times in that chat, the old chat, yeah. But we still, right now, we got the Guns looking for Sam Hilliard beat picks. Now listen here, I'll have a Samuel Hilliard. Nah, the good times are in the Discord chat these days. You guys check it out, man. The Discord chat, I think, is worth the price of admission. A little bit of everything. I probably need to redesign some stuff. But man, it goes down here. It's just incredible to me to see any time of day. Like I log on, I look in my chats, and Jake and Shady are like discussing like CS:GO and stuff, and I'm just like, man, we've got some proud degenerates, but those guys have been in there for years, so they're making dough. Anyway, you guys want to talk some baseball? 5-game slate, couple lineups starting to trickle out. We start chopping it up. And hopefully we come away with a couple of picks. Just a brief overview on the slate itself. If you guys are late, it is a short slate, but it's a fast slate. Lock is 7:10 Eastern, 6:10 Central, and everything's done in essentially an hour and a half in terms of games being locked. So it's going to feel like a turbo slate. It's going to come at you quick, fast, and in a hurry. But hey, what it is, if it's a 5-game ugly slate, at least we ain't got to wait till 12 at night for stuff to shake out. So why not treat it like a turbo slate? Go after it and maybe make a little bit of scratch. On the surface, not a ton of high-end comfortable pitching. Shane McClanahan of McClanahan's Auto Parts is the most expensive pitcher, but he's at home against the Boston Red Sox. Kind of a tough matchup. Tristan McKenzie, I think, will be the guy that leads the charge in terms of ownership. He's at KC. Erod at Tampa. Carlos Carrasco at home versus the Marlins. New York washed yesterday with that with the storm cells from Ira. Then Tukey Toussaint's in Coors. Zach Thompson, Mike Minor. So there's just like a ton of SP4s, and then Shane McClanahan in a not warm and fuzzy matchup. So you gotta deal with the cards that you're dealt. Definitely might be one of those nights where 17 DKP, 16 DKP from one of your SPs makes the winning lineup on DraftKings. So we kind of have to approach it with an open mind, maybe relax our value expectations on the salary for pitchers, and just kind of play pitchers with a floor, a pitch count, and a little bit of talent, even in a tough matchup. So let's go ahead and dice it up. What up, Earth to Air? How you doing, buddy? Red Sox at the Rays. Eduardo Rodriguez taking on Shane McClanahan. 7:10. So this is the first game on the docket. We have an implied run total of just 3.4 for the Red Sox, 4.2 for the Rays. The Rays lineup did come out, and it is confirmed. Rosarena, Nelson Cruz, Wander Franco is just tearing the ball off the cover, and also the cover off the ball. That almost was bad. Almost made a mistake. I never make mistakes. Brandon Lau is batting 6th. What up, Lorenzo? How you doing, buddy? Yo, Lorenzo. Virginia staying clean from all this rain. You guys catch any of the hurricane remnants, man? You guys still good for the wedding this weekend? Hopefully, right? Braden Lowe. So matchup-wise, Erod 9K. I think Erod's definitely somebody that you could still consider just in the scope of this slate, like who has strikeout potential to go out there and give you a shot at 20. Erod definitely does. He doesn't come with a lot of safety and a lot of I feel good about this, but the Rays can strike out. I do like the Rays top half of the order against your normal lefties, Francos, Nelson Cruz, or Rosarena, guys like that. Last couple games for Erod, 7, 3.2, 6. I think the 3.2, he just got shelled that game. But 12, I mean, this is your Erod experience. 12, -1, 25 DKP. Obviously, we're looking for that 25 DKP, but in 2 games against the Rays, he's averaging 18. One of them was 21, so I'm guessing the other one was around 15. And then you see some 30 DKP point upside. So as a mass entry player, it seems like you're on a collision course with having exposure to Eduardo Rodriguez on this slate, unless you're just all in on the Rays for whatever reason. The Rays, despite being really, really menacing with some power versus lefties, we've got Nelson Cruz, we've got Wander Franco, even Mike Zunino, Jordan Luplow, all have elevated ISOs against lefties. So this is a tough matchup here. Brandon Lau, Mike Zunino, the 2 highest K rates in this lineup versus lefties, and then a couple 20%ers in the mix as well. So no matter which way you slice it, it's really not a super comfortable matchup for Erod in terms of projecting strikeouts and getting through a good hit for average team and hit for power team against a lefty. But when you put him on the table against some of the alternatives, I think Erod still gravitates toward being a at least number 3, number 4 option in terms of talented pitcher / matchup / price. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to play both sides of this seesaw. I'm probably gonna wash it 10%. But maybe I get to a little bit more Rays just because they are a beast team, and it's a 5-game slate, right? 300 average plus for 1 through 3. ISOs are nuts. Wander Franco is just an animal. Homered yesterday. He's just getting it done. Shane McClanahan pitching for the Rays here, 10.1K. The most expensive pitcher on the slate. Probably ends up being the highest owned pitcher on the slate. It's another southpaw in the mix here. At home so far this season, he's averaging 18 DKP. Has a game against Boston where he dropped 26 just a couple games back. And this is a Boston team that just hasn't been as powerful offensively lately. Maybe getting Hunter Renfroe back and hopefully soon Kike Hernandez will help that out for them. But they definitely haven't had that extra oomph that we've seen out of them. But it has created a wonky lineup and maybe some new opportunities. Like Bobby Dalbec, big power hitter. He's been hitting as high as 5th and getting a shot at a southpaw here. Maybe he chipping chairs his way to a successful click. Hunter Renfroe has made his way back to the lineup. Probably leads off here against a lefty, but you definitely feel like the range of outcomes for McClanahan to have a top 3 to top 2 DKP output, no matter what that number is, you feel like it's there for him, at Tropicana with the stuff that he has. So I think these could be 2 of your highest owned pitches. I'm just assuming Tristan Mckenzie is your SP1 in terms of ownership, but it's hard to not at least foresee McClanahan and Erod being 2 and 3 to 2 or 4. Maybe Carrasco gets a bump here, but I think this is one of those spots where people are going to uncomfortably play some Erod and McClanahan, and there's really no way around it unless you're going super medium and just stacking cores, right? And I don't think that's a wrong approach. I think you're gonna have to get a little freaky in this slate. So I will have a moderate exposure to both. I'll probably have a little bit more McClanahan than Erod, but and on a 5-game slate, I hate to be that dude, but I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I also have the luxury of probably stacking every team, and I think I will easily be on the Rays stack, and I'll be on the Red Sox stack as well, but maybe not as liberal as maybe I will be on the Rays, because the Rays do size up pretty favorably against most lefties, and we even saw Chris Sale get hit a little bit last night, right? Let's get caught up on chat here. What up, JCA? I just found the page. I'm hyped. Appreciate that, buddy. No, it's next weekend. Okay, all right. Yeah. All right, so that's good. You picked a good time. I thought you were getting married this weekend. So, all right, next weekend. So you got another week of got another week to rethink everything, right? I'm just kidding. Don't. Hopefully your fiance is not around. If she is, that's a joke. Lawrence is a good dude, and make him some steak this weekend. Sunday night AEW, right? Erod's bipolar like all the females out in Boston. Hold up. Heard him on that other site. Wonder where he dipped off to. I'm still with the other site, by the way, boys. Like you probably catch me on there. I think Sunday morning. I don't know why I was saying other site. Like they're the Osmo. Yeah, no. I appreciate you guys finding me from them. But I just do my own thing daily here, just because I'm a nerd and I love to talk baseball. Love the Red Sox today. So McClanahan, he doesn't have like imprinted weaknesses that we could say, hey, this is his problem. I would say the lefty splits, the average allowed to lefties and the hard contact's a little bit up there, but the extra's fine. So like if we're stacking Red Sox, it's clearly just leveraging the field. And that's not a bad thing, right? We're just kind of betting on talent here, but I'm a little bit more on the Rays side myself, No, she normally watches the show with me. Okay, so I got lucky here, or you got lucky. I don't know. Marlins at the Mets. Next game on the docket. Zach Thompson taking on Carlos Carrasco. Do not have lineups for either team. I wasn't sure. Like this morning, I was like, I didn't know the capacity of the storm up there to know if like this game's going to play through, but it looks like we're good. Carlos Carrasco's 8K on DraftKings. He's going against a very strikeout prone Marlins lineup that if you can get the Carrasco pitch count to a comfortable projection, he probably is a guy that would garner some interest from not only myself, but probably the field as well. Going 7 innings against San Francisco is very much easier said than done. Against Miami earlier this season, he did get to nearly 13 DKP on 60 pitches. So if you think there's a shot that that he can build off of that 78 pitches that we saw him in his last 2 games, maybe get to 85, something like that. Even at 78, I think AK Slate considered, I think he's in play. So I think he's going to be in the top 4 pitcher conversation for me. And that conversation essentially is Tristan McKenzie, Carrasco, McClanahan, and Erod. I think in that order is how I got these pitchers ranked. And then maybe we dabble as we go forward with a little bit of Mike Minor, Mitch Keller, something like that. But that's kind of where I'm at. So do you guys agree with that? Are you guys getting to some cookie here at AK on DraftKings? I feel like on Fanduel, I still have enough concern about his pitch count and quality start expectations that maybe I'm a little bit more reserved here. But on DraftKings, yeah, man, throw that in the SP2 spot. If I'm overpaying for 14 DKP, then I'm overpaying for 14 DKP. But pitching is definitely not a strong suit of this slate. The strikeout percentages on the Marlins are also really, really high. 27% on Chisholm, Jesus Sanchez, Brian Anderson, Jorge Alfaro, Lewis Brinson, Brian De La Cruz, and the pitcher spot. You can only assume there's a 1 in 5 overall chance, a 1 in 4 strikeout percentage on this team, and Carrasco has a shot to put up a decent floor for this price point and for the context of the slate. So I'm definitely going to be in on Carrasco. If we had to narrow down some weaknesses on Carrasco in just 23 innings of sample size so far, he's allowed the long ball to righties, but the sub 4 xFIP is kind of making me hope and anticipate regression on the 320 average allowed, and he probably is more of a 1.5 home run per 9 guy to righties, maybe closer to 1.25. So I'm not really believing in the Marlins to kind of be a massive problem here. Again, scope of a 5-game slate, I'll probably have the opportunity to stack every team and tweak the percentages, but I'm leaning more sort of the Carrasco side than the Marlins side. And then Zach Thompson's on the bump here for the Marlins. He's 7,500, and the Mets certainly aren't world shakers by any stretch. Maybe they're having a little bit more of a Cinderella week after the bias debacle. But at 7,500 on this slate, what's the worst you would take from Thompson and feel like he's giving you a shot to fill out an SP spot and maybe get you some more of those lucrative bats? Would 16 be enough? He's only got 1 start against the Mets. He dropped 6, but in his DNA, 70 to 80 pitches, 15, 16 DKP, not out of the question. Right now, he's definitely not one of my top 4, but there is enough strikeout percentage. Maybe overall 20%. Maybe if he caught like a Sunday special lineup, I might get to him. But like in the spirit of thinking outside the box for a 5-gamer. Could Zach Thompson just kind of be one of those guys that sneaks through with a strong game? Maybe. Right now he's on the outside looking in for me, but just kind of thinking out loud here. His weakness has been average to lefties. The xFIP's elevated to both sides of the plate. Take him out of Marlins Park. xFIP's been over 5, sub 20% K rate in the walks. He has been walking hitters, and the Mets have plenty of lefties to maybe take advantage of that elevated walk rate to lefties with VR. If you walk VR, it could be a double, right? Nimmo, Lindor, plenty of lefties in this lineup. So 4.6, the implied run total for the Mets. They're a minus 230 favorite, pretty large favorite here. And then the Marlins just a 3-point. Wow, let's get caught up on chat. She watches Gun with you. No wonder you're getting married. Find you a girl that will watch the daily Gundacker stream and marry her. I put other side because it kept autocorrecting to awesome. Oh, okay. She even knows the intro music. Man, that's what's up. I've had a couple people kind of share stuff like that. It's like me and my girl listen to you, or my kid. I've definitely had a couple of people reach out to me and say that they listen to me on the car, like driving their kids home from school, and that they appreciate that I don't curse. Because it creates awkwardness. So yeah, man, I definitely like that. Humbles me more than anything. Like for people that actually make me part of their day. When I used to do the night streams, I'm not gonna put him out there, but there's another guy who became a YouTuber in the DFS space for a while. He would tell me he was a dishwasher, and he would listen to my nightly breakdowns while he's just back there, grinding dishes. And I thought that was like the coolest thing. Like that means more to me for some reason than people just sitting at home on the computer. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of nerdy. What up, Sean? She even knows the intro music. Maybe I should get a custom intro song, right? Cubs hosting the Pirates. Mitch Keller taking on Keegan Thompson. Cubs have a 4.3 implied run total. Pirates 3.8. Mitch Keller on the bump here for the Pirates. So far on the road, a 23.8% K rate, 4.64 xFIP, 273 average allowed, and a 1.5 home run per nine. Going into Wrigley, 70 degrees, look like wind's blowing in, nothing drastic. These are two unremarkable pitchers on an unremarkable slate with unremarkable pitching options and average carpentry skills. I think this is probably one of the games that maybe is least accessed all the way around, hitters and pitchers. So maybe on a 5-game slate, we take a deeper look at it just because it could be an opportunity to differentiate. So we'll look at Mitch Keller here. He's had a home run problem to righties, a 1.8 overall home run per nine. Just out of curiosity, maybe we pull up his Fangraphs card. I wonder if that's gone up on the road, when you're not in PNC Park. Obviously, no two road stadiums are the same, so it's there is some noise in home road splits. But I'm just curious because the average stadium is probably more hitter friendly than PNC Park, so I'm just kind of curious to see if when he's on the road, is he giving up a little bit more homers to righties than at the house? So 5 homers away versus righties. Or 3 away versus righties and 5 at home, but the inning sample size is a little bit less, so it's almost 1-for-1. So yeah, nothing crazy. Power righties. Patrick Wisdom. Hello, how you doing? 24% K rate for Mitch Keller versus the 40% K rate for Patrick Wisdom. What wins out? Well, I'll tell you what. If it is Wisdom, he has a 4.23 bomb rating on the bomb detector with a 17% barrel ball rate. That matches up with Mitch Keller's elevated 8% barrel ball rate. So look for Patrick Wisdom to maybe be a problem. Frank Schwindel got himself a bomb yesterday as well. But Wisdom's obviously the guy that kind of stands out. And yeah, we know he can hit for power and he does it all the time. But people just don't like playing Patrick Wisdom. And at 4,700, maybe he has even more pushback here. But on a 5-game slate, I mean, who has a higher ceiling than Patrick Wisdom? I don't think anyone does. 36, 28, he just has the ability to put the ball in orbit. So, yeah, maybe I'm cherry picking Wisdom here. Ian Happ's been a very serviceable bat for the Cubs lately. I think you can sell me on Ortega. So I might be an investor on the Cubs stack, but again, I'm probably an investor on every stack, but just generally speaking, there are some bats here, and there has been some output from the Cubs in the last 2 weeks that I would take. So I just can't forget that exists. Keegan Thompson, on the other hand, is a righty. He does have a power problem against lefties. 46 innings total of sample size, and a walk problem on both sides of the plate. So the Pirates would be extremely uncomfortable, but you gotta get a little freaky on this slate. Maybe don't full stack Pirates, but find 1 or 2 to kind of sprinkle in some of your core stack, something like that. And Keegan Thompson has suffered to lefties. So who are the lefties with powers? Well, Brian Reynolds has a 203 ISO against righties since the beginning of last year. Colin Moran's at 170, right? Not great, but could be worse. Yoshi Sasugo, I feel like I've activated a monster ever since I personally called him the worst hitter in baseball, especially the worst DH. I just feel like every time I look up, he's hitting bombs. So there's a couple guys that fit the bill here. Could we play Mitch Keller? I think the answer is yeah. Depending on what this Cubs lineup actually comes out. If it comes out with, over half righties, there's still a lot of strikeout potential in this lineup at 6,200, to where if 62 gets me to 15 on this slate, I might just take it. So one of those range of outcome opportunities. I think contingent on the actual lineup for the Cubs today, but kind of like Erod's game log, but a little bit cheaper to access that experience. -4, 23, 5.8, right? Don't actually know what you're going to get, but if you are multi-entering a tournament, I don't know how Mitch Keller isn't at least in the back end of the pitcher pool to diversify some exposure rates, and I think that's kind of the approach that I have to take here. I don't think I get to Keegan Thompson, at least not with any level of confidence. Maybe it's to repeat that last sentence, just to diversify pitching exposure. But how often is Keegan Thompson hasn't done anything, right? 60, 70 pitches last couple outings, kind of his largest pitch count of the year, and he's never given you double digits. So I'm pretty sure I'm just going to not play Keegan Thompson. And if I'm not going to play the pitcher, and then I know the Cubs bullpen is also not great, do I have to think harder about the Pirates and their 3.8 run total, right? Something gives here. It's not fun to play Pirates. But I guess Hoyt Park, Sasugo, I put these guys in the mix and in the blender, see what comes out. So not a comfortable game to be at, but I think in mass entry this game could be the key to some higher end performances if you get the right cherry picks. And Wisdom feels like the most obvious one, which will probably make him the most owned one of this game. But I also feel like that price point is not going to garner a ton of interest. We got J-Ram, Rafael Devers, Austin Riley in cores, then Wisdom, and then Ryan McMahon in cores. So I could see him falling, through the cracks at third base, but him being outfield eligible as well, maybe, I don't know, maybe that makes him a little bit more obtainable. I don't know. Kind of talking in a circle here. Probably know who you're talking about. I think his podcast and his family started following you years ago. He doesn't. The guy I'm talking about doesn't do DFS YouTube anymore, but he was pretty big for a couple years. I'm listening while doing surgery on mouse brains in the lab. Could you imagine? that would be too far. So actually, we did have a brain surgeon in our community for a bit. He was out of Kansas. I don't know whatever happened to him. Hopefully he never listened to me while doing any operations, because that would be ridiculous. But yeah, we have had some crazy job descriptions kind of come through the chat. Frank Schwinder's on a heater. Yeah, I know yesterday he was a solid play. I know this because I played the pitcher against him. 3,300 for Schwindel. It's pretty cheap. Homered in his last 3 games. So he's definitely kind of seen the ball pretty well here. Hasn't struck out since the 29th. Yeah, I don't mind. Like I said, the Cubs stack probably is one of those icky low-end clicks. And because pitching's not like double 10Ks, double 11Ks, people are just going to be basic, right? They're going to click Tristan McKenzie, maybe Carrasco, and stack cores. And it's just to be a little different in tournaments. I think the Cubs and Pirates, but especially the Cubs, have shown an ability to put up double-digit runs in the last 2 weeks. So it's just kind of a tournament click, right? Alcantara starting now. Alcantara starting for the Marlins. If that's the case, yeah, it is. All right, so we did just get another pitcher then. So it's definitely going to be worth going back to revisit that. Because Alcantara is an ace, for them at least. Shout out to Sweatshop, yes sir. All right, let's go adjust that. Right, I think that's essentially a new game for us now. So Sandy Alcantara. I'm sorry if that was already announced. I just pulled it off of Labs, and I had Labs live, and I see them now listing Alcantara. But we do have a Marlins lineup as well. Miguel Rojas, Josh Chisholm, Jesus Aguilar, Sanchez, Lewis Brinson, Isan Diaz, Jorge Alfaro, Brian De La Cruz. So the strikeout rates may have gone up just a tick. We have just two players in this Marlins lineup with a sub 20% K rate. So the matchup gets a little bit softer for Carrasco, but the matchup gets a lot harder for the Mets offense. Alcantara on the road, though, 4+ xFIP, 21% K rate, has definitely been more effective in the confines of Marlins Park. But in and of himself, he's just a good pitcher, right? So at 8,200, I think he really just helps splash the ownership for pitching right now, right? Zach Thompson wasn't moving the needle, but Alcantara being available, I think will now get traction. You throw in a guy with 110 pitch count, 7+ innings in his 4 straight games, including at Cincinnati, at San Diego. You definitely think Alcantara may have just entered the chat to become one of the highest owned pitchers on the slate, and I'm okay with that. So I feel like that does expand my pitching player pool, and I'd rather it be expanded than what's an inverse of expand? Despend? Is that a thing? I don't know. But I'd rather that. So give me Alcantara in the mix, add him to Carrasco. Maybe you put those two in the same lineup, trying to throw a blanket over the win. But he's a welcome addition to the slate in my player pool, I'll be honest. 8,200 on DraftKings. Against lefties, something we got to focus on. 4.1 xFIP, 21.5% K rate. The ground ball rate is elevated. Like I said, he's been a little bit more impactful for fantasy in Marlins Park versus on the road. But I'm willing to take the chance here at 8,200 of him not dying. He has got some nasty stuff, and he's got a really lively fastball. If you guys haven't seen him pitch, his fastball tops out at like 100, but it's average miles per hour is at 98. Backed up with a 90-mile-an-hour slider and a little bit of a curve and 92-mile-an-hour changeup. A 92-mile-an-hour changeup. That's dirty. So yeah, add Alcantara to the mix here. I'm in on that. And yeah, let's go back to the mix. Not playing Chalk Donkey Carrasco. That's a terrible play. I would say that now that Alcantara is on the slate, I would assume Alcantara probably generates more ownership than Carrasco. I mean, you can project him for almost 30 more pitches, right? Just based on average pitch counts the last 4 games. And I don't think that, if Carrasco becomes lower owned for lucrative purposes in terms of ownership leverage, I think that makes him a better play because this Marlins lineup, like I said, is just packed with strikeouts. This is very reminiscent of the Angels lineup yesterday. Just 2 hitters with a sub 20% K rate. So I understand the reservations on Cookie being, an unproven pitch count, maybe 80 pitches if you're lucky, but the matchup is very pure. So I don't have any personal pushback against Carrasco. And like I said, my mind projections on ownership had Carrasco probably top 2, top 3 owned, but now I could see that being 1-to-1 with Alcantara, and I could see a lot of people just giving Alcantara the extra 30 pitches and feel like that'll raise the floor, perhaps even raise the ceiling. So I definitely think there's a case to be made that Alcantara ends up being as owned or higher owned than Carrasco. So we'll see. I wouldn't completely fade Carrasco. Marlins, I definitely wouldn't. Trusting Carrasco, I get it, Sean. Like, that statement is true to an extent, but it's also true for every pitcher on the slate, right? Like, how can anyone, I think about it. First of all, how can anyone trust any pitcher in DFS? But what pitcher has a warm and fuzzy can't miss matchup? Don't worry, I'll wait. Shane McClanahan, you're paying $10K to throw a lefty at JD Martinez, Hunter Renfroe. Like, there's pushback there. I like McClanahan, but there's pushback. Tristan McKenzie, my God, you talk about inconsistent, right? You don't know if you're getting 30, -3, -1. I think he'll be the highest owned pitcher, but you don't trust him. You don't trust Erod against anybody. Carrasco. So I don't think it's fair to isolate Carrasco and say how can anyone trust that when he has the best matchup literally on the slate at 8K medium price point, and he has strikeout potential. Like, the only thing I don't really trust is the pitch count, but I don't necessarily think that statement's fair in a broad term on the slate, because it's not like we're getting aces versus the Angels, right? We're getting SP2s, SP3s, and not fun matchups, and a bunch of tournament pitchers just in and of themselves. So don't agree with it. Not really. McClanahan and Mckenzie are easy, warm and fuzzy. You think so? Okay. I mean, Mckenzie should drop 30, but he'll be the highest owned pitcher on the slate. All right. I don't, you know me, I don't look at the ownership projections until after I do research. But there's no way Mckenzie's not the highest owned pitcher on the slate. So is Sean V a chalk donkey? Is you coming in here with the hee-haw and then pushing back on Carrasco in the number one matchup? Come on, bro. Cole's finally playing like his Astro days on the way to a title this year. Garrett Cole is absolutely the American League Cy Young Award winner. Taylor home run on Mckenzie incoming. Mckenzie's a walk machine. That's the thing. Like I love Tristan McKenzie today as much as anybody, but you'd be remiss to ignore the fact that he is just a risky pitcher because of who he is. Right? He can lose the strike zone, and Salvador Perez ends up with the bases loaded and he hits a grand slam. Like that's I've seen this movie before. Since he changed things up, not walking guys, no Mondesi's, giving up 1 run in 3 starts versus KC. All right, there you go, being results oriented. Gotta move on. Let's go on to that game though. Royals lineup has come out with Merrifield, Nicky Lopez, Salvi, Andrew Benintendi is batting cleanup. Carlos Santana, Michael A. Taylor, Edward Olivares, Hunter Dozier, Emmanuel Rivera. So there is no Adalberto Mondesi. He had a big game last night, but he's not in the lineup today. We got Tristan McKenzie versus Mike Minor. Tristan McKenzie, like I said, I anticipate him being one of the highest owned, if not the highest owned pitchers on this slate. He's got a 205 home run per night on the season, nearly a 5 xFIP on the road, 55% fly ball rate. It is the spacious confines of Kauffman Stadium, and he's currently, depending on where you look, even money or a dog. I do think McKenzie's going to become one of my highest owned pitchers, but I will kind of put my ear to the ground and kind of understand where the field's at. On a 5-game slate, if we're getting pitchers at 50, 60, 70% that have the wide range of outcomes like Tristan McKenzie does, I think the correct tournament play is to be as contrarian as you can to that, right? Say you do like Coors today, but you want to get different somewhere else. Well, the highest owned pitcher is probably how you get different on a 5-game slate. And if that means McKenzie, then that means McKenzie. And it doesn't necessarily mean to stack Royals, but maybe McKenzie just has a bad game. He just came off the IL today to be activated for this game. Short stint, nothing crazy, but there are some moving variables here to maybe be less than fully confident in him having a massive game here. Strikeouts are there, though. Like pre-flop, he would be one of my favorite guys to target. Strikeouts are certainly there, but it becomes a game theory play if you are attacking some big field tournaments. So just kind of wrestle with that. Mike Minor pitching for the Royals today, 22% K rate to righties, 27% to lefties. Very good chance he sees all righties in this Indians lineup, so we can really isolate these splits versus righties. A 4.4 xFIP. A 166 home run per 9, and a 22% K rate. So nothing flattering and nothing that's going to make me really go out of my way to roster McKenzie at any bit of elevated ownership. 9, 9, 17. The 17s and the 20s we'd absolutely take here. But I don't think, like 150, yeah, he's in the back end, but I think I'm more so on the Indian side, especially guys like Jose Ramirez, Franmil Reyes, Ahmed Rosario. Those are the 3 I like the most from the Indians. Maybe those are a little bit more of chalky, obvious plays, but I think for the right reasons. those are the guys I'm targeting. Jose Ramirez and Franmil Reyes, the two highest ratings on the team in terms of bomb detection. So give me both teams here, and I think I'm going to end up having way more Royal stacks than the field, and it's not a knock on Mckenzie. That's more of trying to play the math in tournaments, because I just feel like Mckenzie has to be one of the highest owned. Maybe Alcantara comes in and shakes that up, but we'll see. Let's get caught up. Carrasco pitch count's part of it on trusting. Now that is way more understandable. Being pessimistic on Carlos Carrasco's pitch count is reasonable, but dismissing the matchup is pure. Lorenzo says I like Tristan, but I'm playing the heck out of some Royals. I think that's the move in tournaments, right? Royals play better at home, and if I'm going to attack any pitcher, I will against Mckenzie at that ownership on a 5-game slate. Definitely kind of what I'm looking for. Gentry Sr. What up, Gentry? What's up, Gun? I'm at work training this new guy. His name is Stephen James. I'm looking at him at the corner of my eye. Oh, man. Appreciate that, Gentry. Treat him right? You train a new employee the right way, it makes your job easier, and then you can work on your DFS lineups. Modesty not playing. Yep. Royals 1 through 7 in play for me. Yeah, so like I said, you talked about Mckenzie's strike walk rates going down. Yeah, I mean that is true, but walk rates, walks might come back. I'm curious to maybe isolate that. Maybe look at the game logs lately. One walk. So last couple, Angels, Detroit. Those are two very strikeout prone teams. Oakland, Toronto, a little bit tighter, more hit for average here. 3 walks against the White Sox. So are we really trusting a 3-game sample size, 4-game sample size to say he's absolutely cured his walk problem? Maybe I'd be a little bit more hesitant in that, but maybe we can go. Maybe we got time today, right? We got time today. Maybe we can go look at the game log here. I'm curious to see a couple things to maybe validate what you're saying about him fixing his walk rate. So a couple things that I'm going to look at to maybe use as validation is called strike percentage, swing percentage, and I guess those are the main ones. So let's go look at plate discipline for the game logs. So first pitch strike is also very important for this. 66%, 68, 82, 6. So above 60% we'll take. We'd love 70%, but above 60% we'll take. Swing percentage is at 53, 54, 49, 60. So those are pretty good numbers here. And then outside the zone swing percentage might be bailing out 44, 47, 33, 44. So he's got a couple of 40 pluses on the outside the zone swing percentage. And obviously if teams and hitters don't swing at pitches outside the zone, those pitches become balls. So when you get into those teams that have a 30%, 25% outside the zone swing percentage, perhaps those walks start creeping back. But a strikeout pitcher is trying to get hitters to expand it and go outside the box. So do the Royals do that? Does anybody know? Well, I guess we can find out by looking at I guess we'll go to team batting stats. Still on the Royals. What? I'm surprised Fanduel didn't price up all the Atlanta bats for cores. Hey, I have a feeling I'm going to get on a tangent when it comes to cores, but we'll see. Sip My Money completely disagrees with Gunn. The walk issue isn't an issue. Adam's sharper than I am, so I wouldn't push back. But, you can see what's happening. What are we disagreeing on? I'm not saying he is fixed or hasn't fixed. I'm trying to validate it by looking at the stats here. So we want to see, I guess we want to look at KC and see if they're really expanding. So KC is 30th, and what is this going by? So let's go with outside the zone swing percentage and sort of from least to So Casey actually swings outside the zone the most in all of baseball. So that will really help him turn some of those balls into strikes. So yeah, I mean, I'm Tristan McKenzie coming into this stream is my highest owned pitcher, but stacking the Royals I think is one of my favorite tournament sides today. It just is to go against the highest owned pitcher that does have some faults, especially with home runs. Yeah, that writes itself. So I don't know what you're trying to like put me against Adam. Like I don't think I was agreeing or disagreeing. I was just saying the lack of sample size is what I'm suspicious about. So I went back and validated. I think getting hitters to leave the zone is going to turn a lot of those balls into strikes. So we'll see. But it's not a victory lap situation. It's literally research. Like what? We got one game left on the docket. Let's take a pause for the cause. Guys, PrizePicks.com, man, they redesigned everything to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing for you guys. If you haven't checked it out yet, NFL projections are waiting for you. So if you guys have already done a little bit of research on NFL Week 1, I feel like this far out, right? 9 days. How often you get to bet something 9 days out? I mean, the lines will never be as soft as they are today. They're only going to react to the field going forward. So, really good opportunity to go to PrizePicks.com, get signed up, and start betting on those NFL lines. But they also have baseball for you. They got the daily tennis, soccer, WNBA, a disc golf, I believe I see up here. So no matter what you guys play, you can put together some cards, bet against the projections, not against other players. And if you sign up and use code GUNDACKER, they'll show me some love. You'll also get up to $100, matched your first deposit instantly, no slow drip. You don't have to play through it and blah, blah, blah. You just, all right, what's up? You want $50? All right, here's $100. Have fun. Call me when you're sober, right? So yeah, go check them out. Get some cards going. Just looking at some of the strikeout props for today. Tristan McKenzie is the one I'm most interested in, and it's not. Oh, there it is. It's at 5. I would probably take the over on 5. So we actually have something in the spreadsheet called the K Factory. So the way the K Factory works is it has a live algorithm that considers the play discipline metrics of the pitcher versus the play discipline metrics of the projected then confirmed lineup for the other team. So it's not just like a math of this is what he does per game. So the way it works is you go get yourself a number in increments of 10 for how many pitches you think a pitcher will throw. 95, 100, 86, 90. So I'm going to put 90 pitches on Tristan McKenzie. I'm going to go down here in the spreadsheet, mouse over K Factory, and I'm going to see. Oh, wait, that's the Braves. 1 second. I'm sorry. I could have just scrolled up, but I'm going to mouse over K Factory for Tristan McKenzie, and I'm going to see what 90 pitches projects in terms of strikeouts. 90 gives me 7.27. So that's well over this 5 projection for Tristan McKenzie. So I would be pretty bullish on him hitting the over and pushing at 5. I feel like that's one of the softest lines on the slate that I've seen. So if you play on PrizePicks, maybe use that as a pick to anchor some lineups today. I like Tristan McKenzie over 5 strikeouts and a couple other numbers here. Alcantara just got put at 6. Carlos Carrasco's at 6. I mean, jeez, that's expensive for someone who might only go 80 pitches, right? Anyway, let's get back to the index portal. Let's get caught up on chat. Lorenzo, the only bat that should be priced up for the Braves and Coors is Freddie Freeman. Ain't a great road team DFS wise. Yeah, but it's Coors. It's Coors. Every bat should always be priced up in Coors. They're not, but they should be. Just because of how much of a hitting advantage that park is, especially on a small slate, right? What up, Smeezy? Yo, Smeezy, you having fun with that Denny Hamlin news, ain't you? I woke up and saw Denny Hamlin's wife, y'all. I don't know if you guys follow NASCAR. Denny Hamlin, one of the premier drivers. His old lady, or now his ex-old lady, kind of putting him on blast on Twitter. So if you got some popcorn, maybe check that out. I also saw that Nick Castellanos homered while that was kind of unfolding. So, old Nick, he just don't care. Let's get to the main event. By the way, guys, if you do want access to the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet, It is a perk of having a subscription at rundfs.com. New website is up. Go get signed up, make an account, get a week pass, and I thought I had activated a promo code, but maybe I didn't. So maybe I'll put a promo code on Twitter or something that you guys. Actually, I'll do it at the end of the stream. I will literally go make a promo code. So if you guys did want to get signed up, stick around after the breakdown, and I'll get you a live promo code. And that'll get you access to the spreadsheet and the rundfs.com VIP Discord. I'll be in the voice chat leading up to lock. You would open up the Discord, you'd click MLB voice chat, and then we would be good to go, chopping up some baseball and yelling at Raj for an hour or two. And I think tonight's going to be one of those nights where lineups are just waiting on us, right? For the last game in Coors to be 8:40, we're talking less than 2 hours after first game. I think this will be one of those nights we get done with our lineups pretty quickly and efficiently, and we just sticking around and chilling, right? Raj, fade Braves. Speaking of Raj, fade Braves, make money against Chichi Gonzalez. Maybe. R.I.P. Denny's marriage. Poor Denny. I won't have a single Brave, especially not Freeman. Large field GPP's fading is the easy play for sure, strictly an ownership play. Sean, please explain to me why you won't have a single Brave. And the only reason I'm asking you this is because you seem so excited to play Tristan McKenzie, who I'm assuming is elevated in ownership. But now you don't want the Braves in the number one hitting part. And if it's because of ownership, you're kind of counterproductive, in my opinion. All right, Braves against the Rockies. Tucson taking on TT. Do you love me? Chichi Gonzalez. We got an implied run total of 7 runs for the Braves. 7, not 6, not 8, 7. That's ridiculous. I don't think I've seen 7 in quite some time. There's been a couple of days where we hit 7, but that's ridiculous. 5.6 for the Rockies. Chichi Gonzalez is very bad at throwing baseballs. A 5.12 xFIP to righties, 4.84 to lefties, a 13% K rate to both sides of the plate, almost a 300 average to both sides of the plate. Gives up power to righties. I will be stacking the Atlanta Braves tonight, and I completely understand what you guys are saying. They're going to be ridiculously high owned. Yes, we're just going to have to try to find ways to differentiate. But it's kind of far-fetched this far out, especially like the crazy statements where I'm not playing a single Brave. It's kind of hard to imagine a winning lineup that doesn't have a single Brave. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, maybe you could tell me that a five-man Brave stack is too obvious. It's not going to get there. But I don't know that I could eliminate the Braves. 4K for Jorge Soler, a 250 ISO against Chichi Gonzalez, who allows over a 2 homer per night in course. That's just going to be aggressive in my lineups. He's got a 4.37 bomb rating, and I'll say that the bomb detector does not care about the park either. So Jorge Soler is at 4K, and he has. Is this the highest rating on the bomb detector? Let me resort here. No, Duvall, who's also in this projected lineup. Oh, no, he is. Jorge Soler is the number 1 rating on the bomb detector. 4K. Batting second in Coors. There's no way that's not one of my highest owned players. That's impossible. Like, I don't know. I understand the want to fade for tournament leverage. But I feel like the right approach here is how do I get Coors and still differentiate, right? And that's not saying I have to fade Soler, Freeman, right? Like, how do I get those guys and still be different? It's kind of what I'm focusing on. It's Chichi Gonzalez, man. We playing Chichi tonight? Yo, chat, am I being punked right now? What are we doing? What? Braves won't score more than 4? It's the first game of the series. Braves won't score more than 4. What? That's the bait gun to lower you in. I'm not taking the bait. I usually fade the first game of Coors series. Sometimes it burns me. Most of the times it doesn't. I mean, that's baseball. Most of the time, baseball doesn't do what you expect it to do. No, Ozzy. Yeah, Ozzy Albies, I'm assuming, is not available. Although those MRIs were negative. I don't know if a day or so off. But did he get put on an IL? It says he's day to day. I guess there's a loose chance that he would play. He expects Albies to miss a couple games, so Albies probably doesn't play here. But I still think it's a very talented team. He ain't about that life. Sometimes, or I don't know that. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. Coors home games. Home game. I don't know. I think Chichi Gonzalez is a pretty elite tournament play. No, it's not. That's literally. Almost said an inappropriate word. How is that an elite? Raj, please miss me with that. What? Playing Chichi Gonzalez is a pretty elite tournament play. What is Chichi Gonzalez's ceiling for him to be an elite tournament play? Like, what? The leverage you get is insane, but only 100 lineup plus play? No. I'm playing 150. I'm not touching Chichi Gonzalez. That Raj, you make it hard to love you. You do. Let's go last 30 scores in Core's game. I want to see how you're coming to this conclusion. I don't know. That's not it. Home game. I guess it would be the Rockies. That doesn't make sense. Like, even if the Braves didn't do well. Like, Chichi wouldn't Dodgers score 5, I'd take 5. D-back scored 10 in the first game of that series. Thoughts? I can't believe I'm even entertaining this right now. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Not fading the Braves. And I'm darn sure not playing Chichi Gonzalez. That's the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard. Even if Chichi doesn't die, like, how does 8-12 win you a tournament? Like, what? I don't know. 7 innings against the Cardinals, Raj. 7 innings, 2 earned runs. Did 9 DKP help you? No, it did not. He's not an elite tournament play. He's actually the dumbest tournament play you could. Yikes. That's dumb. First game of series, Coors tends to underwhelm on the scoreboard. Maybe that statement's true long term, but I don't have anything to substantiate that. And right now, it just feels like that's a assumption based off of nothing. So I'm gonna say no. It's Chichi Gonzalez. Like, stop it. What? I don't understand what has happened. I've lost all control. I'm stacking Braves. Let's talk about the Rocky side here while you guys completely distracted me. I'm stacking the Rockies too. Rockies #1 home team in baseball. Touki Toussaint has propensity to get beat up. He does have a range of outcome at 8K to be a solid play. I think so. But I also think, like, maybe that would have been a more valuable play before Alcantara was introduced to the slate. So, like, I do feel like I wouldn't have 0% Toussaint just because he has a little bit of potential to rack up some strikeouts, maybe get me a bid at a quality start, give me 16, 18. But he's definitely not a high comfort play, not a high ownership play for me. But yeah, I wouldn't have 0% Touki in 100, 150. But I'm also stacking the Rockies here. So CJ Cron's been pretty strong. Trevor Story, Charlie Blackmon. I think Story and Story and Cron are my 2 favorite picks out of the Rockies lineup here. If I wanted to really isolate what Touki struggles with, it is power to lefties. So maybe Ryan McMahon's in a good spot. Charlie Blackmon taps into his home splits, but for the most part, like, I'm just not overthinking the matchup and just stacking cores, right? So it is what it is. Cores 77 degrees. If it underwhelms, it underwhelms. But I think we're trying to you get too caught up in gambler stats and not quantifiable data, you know. You said the same thing about Jordan Lyles at Boston. How much you love Boston. Here we go with the Jordan Lyles thing. So the same thing about Jordan Lyles at Boston. How much you love Boston stack and how that turned out. That doesn't, like, you can't look at one game. Like, what are you, Sean? Sometimes your thought, like, sometimes I feel like you're not real. I feel like you're like the better guy, where you say stuff just because you know it irritates the sharps, right? Like, what you're saying is not fair from a baseball standpoint, right? If Garrett Cole gets beat up last night, are you going to fade Garrett Cole for the rest of the year just because he got beat up one game? No. You know what happened? Jordan Lyles' next start, the literal next start, he went out there and got smacked. You know what you were doing in my chat? You were like, Jordan Lyles is good. And you know what I did? I put you on blast. So, like, baseball is a game of failure. And you can't just keep pointing at one failure spot that didn't go the way it should have went, and then use that as justification for making the wrong decisions every time going forward. It's the coin flip, man. It's the coin flip comparison, right? If I flip a coin 10 times, 80% of the times it lands on tails. It doesn't mean if I flip it again, there's an 80% chance that it's tails. No, it's still 50%. Like, the math is the math, and you're just like, you're stuck on the past and the results, and you're really not using the data that is literally. I'm done trying to teach you this lesson. Anyway, let's go update some lineups. Chat, if you guys, some of you guys that are lurking, if you're out of here, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for my sanity, and let's get some lineups updated. Maybe rethink a couple of approaches on stacks. Like I said, I think today's one of those days where we will have all of the lineups in time, so we'll be sitting on completely done scripted batches of CSVs for an hour or so before lock, you know. Stuff like, you've done that multiple times, Sean. I could, like, if you're trying to point out a couple times I was wrong, I can point out a couple times I was right. Like, this is knick-knack stuff. Like, miss me with that. Look at this. I'm okay. All right. Hunter Renfroe, Kyle Schwarber, JD Martinez batting third. We do like that. Gives it a little bit stronger feel to get that perhaps extra at bat, at least that first inning at bat of JD against the lefty. Rafael Devers batting cleanup here. Bobby Dalbec sticking around in that 5 spot. A little power swing there. Danny Santana cracks the lineup, and that's going to sit Alex Verdugo down. And then the bottom of this lineup gets a little bit softer. A lot of 30%ers here, so still on the McClanahan exposure train. Definitely not warm and fuzzies, but I'm in on McClanahan more than Erod. But in Mass Century, I gotta have exposure to both. Mets lineup is also out. We got Jonathan VR, Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Michael Conforto, Javi Baez, Jeff McNeil. You're Jeff McNeely. Patrick Mazeika and Carlos Carrasco. So as projected, we'll get that going. I'd love to get Sean. Are you Maniac on Twitter, or is that not you? Like, I feel like you're not real, and I just want to get you, like, on the stream sometime to debate with you. I feel like I'm debating someone that's getting their, like, baseball thoughts from a box score in a 1995 daily newspaper. You know what I'm saying? So that's all of our lineups that came out, and we just have such vast. And that's the beauty, I guess, of DFS, is our approaches are so different. But my goodness, yours is so, like, archaic. K Johnson, DFS rule number 2: don't listen to Raj. I cash all the time. But the way you're talking about Chi-Chi's, just like you talked about Lyles that particular day. But that's not okay. Like, so Chad, if you're Sean's trying to call me on, I thought that the Red Sox could be a good stack against Jordan Lyles. Does anybody think that's a hot take? No? Nobody? And because Jordan Lyles, let's pull up what happened that game. And the Red Sox didn't get through to Lyles, right? Not necessarily a dominant outing by Lyles, but the Red Sox just couldn't find holes. So let's go to the game log for Lyles here. And my gut says Sandy fails a lot of people today. I definitely prefer Sandy at home, but at 8K, I wonder what is fail, right? So at Boston, Lyles had a 13% swinging strike rate, one of his greatest numbers on the season. And if we go look at the batted ball data against Boston, Lyles had a 4.75 xFIP, which is elevated. The hard contact was at 50% and no infield fly ball, right? So now let's go to advanced. The BABIP against Boston in that game is 278. The BABIP was actually fine, but the fact that some of those hard hit balls were finding gloves, like he was a little on the lucky side, and Sean has not let that die down. Like you would think that Jordan Lyles threw a no hitter for crying out loud. He's not even on the slate to even pull up that card. Anyway, you're not teaching me anything. You understand this baseball doesn't always make sense. I know I'm not teaching you anything because you're coming back every day with the most ridiculous takes. Adam says, Yo Gun, hit me up on Twitter. Made a nice little update you like for baseball weather. All right, for sure. I'll come on sometime. I would love to break a slate down with Sean. Sean could be baseball Raj. Stack the Red Sox against him. Yeah, I mean, it fell through. It happens. Like, the stacks that make the most sense fail very often. More often than they probably work. But you can't victory lap that, right? It's luck. Like it's not luck to assume that they fail, but it is a little bit lucky to not get through Jordan Lyles with a 0% infield fly ball rate, 50% hard contact rate. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes the balls just find some gloves, man. It's the comparison I'm making. The way you talk about Lyles that day in Sox, that's why you're assuming Chi-Chi is so bad. It's not a gut. I'm not saying Chi-Chi Gonzalez is bad because of a gut decision. I'm saying Chi-Chi Gonzalez is bad because we have years and years of data that say Chi-Chi Gonzalez is bad. Yeah, Chi-Chi may not die, but he's not very likely to be a strong DFS play. And right now, using the data that we have years worth of, and I'm talking years worth of, we have to predict what will happen on the slate, right? That's the entire point of DFS. And even if the Braves fail, right? Even if the Braves hit a bunch of ground balls to gloves, a couple singles that don't matter, Chi-Chi Gonzalez is probably not going to walk away with 8 strikeouts and win you a tournament. Like, it's just simple as that. Same with Jordan Lyles against the Red Sox. I don't think he won anybody tournaments that night. He was just able to eat innings and the stack doesn't get through. So I think maybe the viewers don't understand the debate that we're having here today, and I don't even know if I understand what you're saying to me. Are you trying to say the Braves could fail because Jordan Lyles failed? Is that the basis of your argument? Or are you trying to say Chi-Chi could not be bad because Jordan Lyles was not? Like nothing. I'm so lost. I'm literally so lost. What up, Cameron? How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Sorry about this chaos. Just because baseball doesn't make any sense doesn't mean you should do the dumbest stuff every day. Absolutely, right? You play the variance, but be smart about it, right? What's like what I mean by you pivot projections, similar projections, right? Like so, like Shane McClanahan, and I'm not saying like this for sure today, but if Shane McClanahan had a projection of 18, and so did Erod, but McClanahan was at 50% owned and Erod was at 20%. Well, in tournaments, you probably take the other guy because it's going to be less owned, it's perhaps a little bit more lucrative if he outscores McClanahan. If a stack doesn't come through, it doesn't mean Chi-Chi Gonzalez no hit them and has 10 strike. Like, I this feels like such a novice, elementary, caveman, archaic lesson to be talking about on September 2nd, but here we are. If you're playing 150 half stacks with Chi-Chi's fine. No, I am playing 150. You will not see Chi-Chi Gonzalez in my lineups. You just won't. I I had the Blue Jays against Keegan Aiken. It happens. It does happen. What can you do? All right, let's move on to the next game. Why did I just get a message? What did I just get a message from? No, it was all right. For a second, I thought I was supposed to be somewhere else. Like taking Yu Chang last night could have been taking it. What up, Orbit? Never knows. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little different, right? Like one-off punt hitters, a little bit different than playing actually bad pitchers. And Chichi Gonzalez is a whole different category of bad. And I'm sorry to Chichi Gonzalez's family, I am, but for pitching, it's not what you want. Anyway, chat. That's our breakdown here. That got a little weird. I apologize. It's normally not this weird if you're new to the channel. But sometimes, man, oof. Just to clarify, I'm not playing Chi-Chi. This mother. We got to get Sean on the show one day. Next small slate. I would love to walk around your brain and see what's going on. I feel like a conversation with me for 2 hours is well worth the price of VIP. This mother. All right, chat. Twitter.com/Gundecker. Tomorrow's a big slate. Big slate. R.I.P. Daphne. If you guys are looking to... Oh, I said I'd make a promo code, right? Let's do that. So if you guys are looking to get into the new website of rundfs.com, let's go to coupons. You know what, Sean? I'm going to make a promo code in your honor. Thoughts? Add a new coupon. Chat, where are we at on likes? I will literally go % off on the amount of likes that we have, right? So if we had 40 likes, I would literally do a 40% off promo code right now. Let's pull this up on the second screen. Watch Chichi. Dude, if Chichi Gonzalez tosses a no-no, I probably have to delete my account, right? Like, it would be over for me. Good career. I appreciate everyone who ever stopped by and showed some love. But I'm out of there. I'm dead. You're digging my grave. So we're at 19 likes. 19% off. Or does anybody want to spam that like button? Let's do 25. Let's do 25 nice and easy. Promo code Sean V. Coupon options. Let's go 25% off. Discount standard. Schedule coupon start is September, so yesterday, and then we will expire this coupon tomorrow, and we will publish it. Right? It is published. You only got 30 watching, so it might not happen, but you get 30, they about that life. Yeah, we ain't getting 30. All right, so I just made a coupon code, Sean V. If you sign up using coupon code Sean V, you get 25% off whatever pass you want. So yeah, go check that out. Get part of the new rundfs.com website, and then jump into that Discord. If you have troubles with the promo code, hit me up on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundecker. I love you guys, man. I appreciate you guys making part of my day be part of your day as usual. I hope you crush it tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. I love you guys very, very much. Even you, Sean. Even you. Just not as much. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money. Bomb detector on my Twitter. Yeah, later on. I ruined the outro. You made me botch the outro. Pretend like I didn't. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.